For supporters, this is about preventing another tragedy like the one at Virginia Tech. Peter Reed is one of them. He lost a daughter on April 16th.
We really don't want to see another family have to go through what we've gone through.
Colin Goddard was at Norris Hall that day, but managed to escape.
Now I feel kind of not obligated, but courageous and wanted to do something to change a bad situation into a good situation.
Activists even lay down on the Capitol lawn to make their point, a message gun advocates say makes no sense.
The gun show bill that's in there has got absolutely nothing to do with Virginia Tech, and yet so many people are focused on a bill that wouldn't have changed what happened.
That's because Sung-Hui Cho bought his gun at a gun store and not a gun show. Opponents say this proposal is just another attack on gun ownership rights and would make it harder for law-abiding citizens to get one.
It's more than a little paperwork. It's actually quite egregious, and it could end up really harming gun shows.
Supporters of the proposal don't buy that and say they are for whatever keeps guns away from dangerous people.
Hopefully that we have the hindsight and nobody else has to experience something that I was unfortunately able to experience myself.
We're pushing for this legislation in this session, but if it doesn't come in this session, there's another session, and there's another one after that.
The Senate committee room was packed when this was being heard, but senators did not take a vote. They're expected to do so on Wednesday. It will be an uphill battle for this proposal because the House committee already said no. Reporting live at the state capitol in Richmond, Manuel Quinones, ABC 13 News. Right now, we're in a staging area very close from where this pipe burst and caused a huge crater in the ground, and we're told more people are on their way here to figure out what happened. Emergency workers rushed to the scene only to find a disaster area.
Just jumped out of bed. I heard an explosion.
Junior Bryant is one of many residents who heard the explosion and took off.
We jumped in this car right here, and all of a sudden the fireball blew out.
The explosion sent debris flying throughout the area, and the fire that followed spread its fury to nearby homes. It even damaged the street signs.
Could feel the heat right here. Me and my wife, we'd been standing in the yard another 5 minutes, killed us both right there.
This is a piece of the large gas pipe that burst. Rescue workers tell us it shut down immediately after the incident.
Gas company has provisions in place to take care of this type of situation, and that they all worked.
But it wasn't enough to stop the destruction of 2 homes and keep 5 people from getting hurt.
We still have a lot of facts together right now.
So Tammy's okay?
The facts are less alarming than the many rumors going around town. Still, folks say they have not seen anything like this before.
I thought my wife had fell and the house was shaking, and so we got up and run outside, and all of a sudden we just seen this dust and rocks flying everywhere, man. And the noise was horrendous.
I looked through the window, and the fire was way up in the air.
We're told federal officials will be helping out with the investigation. And just to give you an idea, a sense of how big this was, we saw a pickup truck and its lights, its headlights were melted because of the heat, and its airbag was deployed because of the loud and powerful explosion. Reporting live in Appomattox County, I'm Manuel Quinones, ABC 13 News.
We are trying to move forward.
County Supervisor Maddie Wiley remembers what it was like to be sent far away from home to Ohio just so she could go to school.
That pain will always be there, and periodically somebody's going to always walk up to you and remind you how awful it was.
That's because county supervisors decided to shut down the schools in 1959 rather than integrate.
We were out for the summer, and then they said, oh, you're not going back to school.
Now a new generation of leaders is recognizing the injustice inflicted on Wiley and so many others. County supervisors passed this resolution to make amends.
It plainly states on the resolution that the closing of the schools were wrong, that it affected people and affected the whole county negatively.
Their goal is to make a bold statement, and soon the courthouse bell tower in Farmville will shine as the light of reconciliation.
It's a form of healing to bring everyone together, to recognize the wrongs of the past.
Wiley knows how far things have come. Being a county supervisor was once beyond her wildest dreams.
I consider this to be an honor because I feel like I'm giving something back to the county that was taken away from a lot of people during that time.
Now, they say they're remembering their history and moving together as one. In Prince Edward County, Manuel Quinones, ABC 13 News. They all are, Len, after a trip filled with so much promise went so horribly wrong. The Mumbai terror attacks have forever changed Kia Sher's life. She's now dealing with the emotions that often come with loss.
All the way from the deepest grief and pain I've ever known to the most love and support that I've ever received.
That support, coupled with her faith, is what sustains her.
Strength. Faith gives strength.
Kia spoke with Alan and Naomi shortly before the attack. Master Charles Cannon was one of the last to see them.
You were laying under the table, heads facing each other.
And it was up to him to identify the bodies.
It's one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do in life.
Cannon also had to endure 40-plus hours under siege at the Oberoi Hotel with other members of Synchronicity.
Very loud explosions and grenades and gunfire, the volume of which you couldn't imagine.
At one point, they were dirty, could barely breathe, and had to break a window.
Huddled there, sucking air for survival and holding on to each other.
Still, despite all that, Cannon and Kia are trying not to be bitter about the attacks.
We must send them our love, forgiveness, and compassion. We must. As Jesus Christ said long ago, they know not what they do.
There will be a memorial service for Alan and Naomi, but it has not yet been set for other members of Synchronicity who do not live in our area, were injured, and are recovering.